Now we are going to learn a very powerful technique known as a fixed point iteration, and for that we first need to define what is a fixed point. So definition, we say a point P is a fixed point for a function g if g of p equal to p. Very simple definition. So in this method, we will find a fixed point for a given function g. Now you might be thinking how to apply this method to find roots of equation fx. So let us consider an example. Let us say fx has a root x naught. We can define gx as x minus fx. So will x naught be a fixed point of gx? So let us see. I calculate g of x naught. It will be equal to x naught minus f of x naught. But we know x naught is a root of f. Therefore, f of x naught is equal to 0, is equal to x naught. This implies g of x naught is equal to x naught. Therefore, if we define a new function g as x minus fx and find its fixed point, so our algorithm will give x naught, and that x naught is a root of function fx. Now, there are many other techniques, there are many other ways to form gx, but we will see them in later examples. So let us see some very small examples. Example number 1. Let us say gx is equal to x square minus 20, and we have to find fixed point of gx. So we have to solve equation p equal to gp, where p is a fixed point. So gp is equal to p square minus 20. We can rearrange this as p square minus 20 minus p is equal to 0. Applying quadratic formula, we get p is equal to 1 plus minus square root of 1 plus 4 into 20, which is 80, upon 2, which is equal to 1 plus minus 9 upon 2. Where we have two roots, 1 plus 9 upon 2 and 1 minus 9 upon 2, which is equal to 10 upon 2, which is 5, and minus 8 upon 2, which is minus 4. Therefore, p square minus p minus 20 can be written as p minus 5 and p plus 4 is equal to 0. This equation can be rewritten as this, and p is equal to 5 is a fixed point of gp, and p is equal to minus 4 is a fixed point of gp. So let us verify that. Although you don't need to verify this, but for the sake of completeness, I am verifying that these are indeed fixed points of function g. So our gx is x square minus 20, and our first root was 5. So let us calculate g of 5, and g of 5 should come out to be 5. So it is 5 square minus 20, it is equal to 25 minus 20 is equal to 5. And g of minus 4, so g of minus 4 is equal to minus 4 whole square minus 20, which is equal to 16 minus 20 is equal to minus 4. So this is also a fixed point. Now let us consider another example. So example number 2. So let us say gx is equal to x cube plus 6x square minus 4, and we have to find, let us say, yeah, we have this, and we have to find root of this function f. So first we have to convert this to a fixed point iteration scheme. So for that we have many methods. So first method is define gx is equal to, let us say it is g1x is equal to x minus fx. So it will give us x minus, it is equal to minus of x cube minus 6x square plus x plus 4. You can check that it is correct. And another gx we can define it. So let us say how we can rearrange this. So x cube plus 6x square minus 4 is equal to 0. We can say x cube is equal to 4 minus 6x square, or we can say x is equal to 4 minus 6x square whole to the power 1 upon 3, and x is equal to gx. This is another function which you can use. There is another scheme. So if I take x square common, we have x plus 6 minus 4 is equal to 0. We have to find fx is equal to 0. Then this implies x square is equal to 4 upon x plus 6. This implies x is equal to plus minus square root of 4 upon x plus 6. You can take plus term, you can take minus term, and depending on that we can get g3. So there is not a unique way, there are many ways to find the function gx corresponding to our original equation, whose roots we need to find. So that's all for this section. Next we will see the existence and uniqueness theorem for fixed points.